Hello and welcome to this review of the Mission SX2 loudspeakers. We're going to talk to you about the different technologies in these loudspeakers, tell you a little bit about them, and more crucially, we're going to tell you what we think they sound like.
So the Mission SX2s, they're one of the higher ranges in Mission series, and they a good sort of return to form for Mission. They've had a few years of really not producing the sort of best speakers at this sort of price point. They've either lacked in finish or sound quality, and these really do change things. I mean, the finish on these particular pair we've got here, you can get them in an optional high gloss finish. That's what these are. You pay a little bit more for that. The finish is absolutely fantastic. It's also one of the first Mission speakers to have a metal dome tweeter, and that really does make a difference. And the previous speakers at this sort of price point, we always thought were sounded a bit sort of not very open, quite, if anything, a bit muffled because of the soft dome tweeters. I don't know what it was, but they just didn't sound great. These make a big difference. They've got very, very nice, detailed treble, and the mid-range as well, and is very good from vocals. But the bass, because they've got such a large cabinet, it's very deep. The cabinet really does produce an awful lot of bass, and they are more like a floor stander. So very, very impressive. But the look of them, that's what we really, really like about these. So they've got these curvy cabinets, and then they come in, you can get them in a few different lacquered finishes. So you can get them in black, cherry, rosewood amongst the different finishes. And then there's a high gloss rosewood and high gloss black. Now that metal dome tweeter is a 25mm unit, and then there's the 160mm bass mid-range cone. That's they say it's a pulp and aramid particle fibre cone. The grills, as you can see, they're magnetic grills, so there's nothing on the front baffle for them to clip into. So it's a cleaner look. You can see the drive unit's got a fairly long throw on it, and real punchy bass, really quick as well. It must be quite a light material that they're using for that bass drive unit. They're very deep compared to their width, and there are other speakers in the range below this, the SX1s, and then further up there's a series of floor standers. But yeah, for a reasonable sized room, these will fill it with sound pretty well. They're also bi-wireable, so if you've got the option of bi-amping, or you just want to double up on cable and improve the sound quality that way, you can do that. The recommended amplifier for them is between 20 and 100 watts. Their impedance is 6 ohms, and the fairly low sensitivity, though we found them, they weren't that difficult to drive, of 85 dB. They come with these little links in between the terminals, so if you're not bi-wiring, you leave those in and use them in this fashion. But if you are going to actually bi-wire, then you need to unscrew the terminals all the way and pull out the metal links. Now, they started off slightly more expensive here in the UK, and they did drop the price, and that's made a big difference to them. I think they're a lot more competitively priced now, and we feel that you can't really go wrong with them at the price. So, pros and cons of them: the looks. They look absolutely fantastic. The finish on them is second to none, really, at this price range. You've got to spend a bit more now to get something that's such a good high gloss finish. And even the quality of the black lacquered finish is very smooth, very hard. You've got to really shine a torch on it to spot any imperfections, or we're really impressed with that. The veneers too, the wooden veneers, very good finish, even without the high gloss. They've got that sort of more luxurious feel to them. And the sound, the bass from them, for their size, is quite remarkable. And they're just a nice, well-balanced speaker. I wouldn't say they're too far in any one direction. On the con side, they maybe with some systems sound a bit bright, but they're certainly not. It's not a harsh metal dome tweeter. Some metal dome tweeters, some people just can't get to grips with them because they just find it overbearing. They're not like that. They are more subtle. They're more like the existing sort of Mission sound with the soft dome tweeter, but they've got that extra detail in the treble. So maybe with some systems that are a bit bright to begin with, maybe not the speakers to go with that. So that's the only thing, but I'd say that applies to most speakers that have a metal dome tweeter. That if it's a bright system to begin with, you don't want to be partnering it with that. But really, there isn't an awful lot to complain about here. So it's just really all on the good side. They're a good, balanced, neutral sounding speaker.
That's the end of our review of the Mission SX2 loudspeakers. If you'd like to purchase these loudspeakers or you'd like to see more reviews, please visit our website avland.co.uk. Thank you.